Hello, welcome back to the Cursing Seamstress. I have a pattern review for you today. This will be pretty quick. I made this past week, and basically I've said this before, my goal is to use up fabric that I have and then move on with buying new fabric, a rule that I've already violated several times. However, this fabric for this top I have had for quite a long time. I am pretty sure I bought it at an auction. So, and I had enough to make a top with it. So I made Vogue. It's a very easy Vogue, and it's Vogue 9258. This is what it looks like. It's a pattern for two variations of a top, one that buttons down the front and one that has just a closure up at the top and the back, and then a couple of variations of pants. This is, it says it's very easy. It's easy. I think what makes it not very easy is the buttons. I know a lot of people have trouble with buttons, buttonholes, and also the facing is bias tape, so around the neck and around the armholes. So that's not always easy for new sewers. But the top is described as loose fitting, and it's either a pullover with a back button and a loop closure or a front button. The pants are semi-fitted, pull-on pants with either a full or a slim leg variation. The fabrics are crepe, cotton, shirting, chambray, linen blends, unsuitable for obvious diagonals. Based on the version that I did, which was version B, I was in the category of a size 16 based on my measurements. Again, I wear size 12 and ready to wear. So I cut out a 16. It was too big. I ended up taking out a full inch in the back and a half inch on either side. This pattern is meant to flare out sort of at the bottom. It fits at the top and it kind of flares out at the bottom. So there's a piece here, and then there's two side pieces as you get down toward the bottom in the front, and then two side pieces in the back to give it a flare. Again, I've set bias binding for the, sorry, my other dog is barking and my poodle has to copy bark. So it's a very, very basic top. As I was sewing it, I knew that I was not in love with it, but I continued sewing on, and at the end of it, I was still not in love with it. I don't know that I will wear this out. I might. It's okay. It's all cotton fabric, so it does wrinkle a lot. It has to be ironed, and even after you iron it, it starts to wrinkle pretty quickly. I'm going to stand up and let you see this. My impression was that on the line, the drawings here, and here's the line art on the back. But on the front, you know, it looks really cute and youthful, but to me, you know, as I got closer to finishing it, it looked sort of like an old lady top. Not that I'm not an old lady. So I did the alteration, another alteration I did besides reducing the sizing was to lower the bust darts by an inch, which is perfect. My bust line, the apex, has dropped as I've gotten older. So that worked out. To sort of give it a little bit more flair, I put on an applique. I downloaded an outline drawing of, or silhouette of a bird in flight, and used heat and bond, and found some contrasting fabric that I thought would work and put that on. So I'll show that to you also. So this is not a bad pattern. All the pieces lined up fine. The sizing is off. So I would make, for me, I would size down by 1. So instead of making a 16, which is what my measurements put me in the category of, I would size down to a 14, which is still not in keeping with my ready-to-wear size. So I'm going to stand up and just show you the end result of this pattern. All right, so this is one of the side pieces right here that makes it sort of flare out. This is the applique that I used in a contrasting sort of a mustard larger dot fabric. So I don't know if you can see this, but this has real tiny white dots on it. It's a nice color blue. And so the back is not bad. It seems to conform to my sway back all right. So that's it. The buttons I used were, I like them. They're a little bit darker blue than the fabric. There is interfacing here on both sides for the buttons and the buttonholes. So it's, I mean, it's cute. There's nothing, it's not ugly, but it's just not my style. It's not my style top. I won't remake it. And so that's it. All right, I don't have anything else. Stay tuned. I have just downloaded 4 more patterns from Colette Patterns, and I am going to be starting on one of those today. I've already chosen a fabric and ironed it and laid it out. So I will let you know how that goes. I made an error in my last video when I was talking about the first Colette pattern that I've made. Colette is not associated with grain line, which is what I think I said. Colette is associated with, excuse me, seam work patterns. They're on the same website, but the patterns will be marked differently. It'll either say Colette or seam work. So I apologize for that. And so please stay tuned. All right, thank you so much for watching.